If you're dealing with pilonidal cysts, I want you to know that you are not alone. I know how painful, confusing, and isolating this journey is. I personally lived with this for years before I finally found some help, because let's be honest guys, it's kind of gross and embarrassing. My name is Alexis, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about my pilonidal cyst story, from how it happened to the surgery to post-surgery to where I am now in life. It's been a year since my surgery, so I kind of want to talk to you guys and tell you guys what's been going on. I'm a little nervous to share my story on here today, but I'm hoping that by doing this, I'm going to help raise awareness about this, because there's not a lot of research done about this. And I also am just here to give you answers and, most importantly, some hope, because when I was going through this, I felt hopeless. So without further ado, let's get into it, and I'm going to share with you guys my story today. So I just want to start off by saying that I am a florist, hence the flowers everywhere. This is a florist YouTube channel, but today I am doing something a little bit different. I'm opening up about my health journey today with pilonidal cyst. It's something that I really wish more people talked about, did more research on, because when you're going through it, you really do feel alone. What even is pilonidal cyst? Let's break it down with a peach. For those of you who don't know, pilonidal cyst occurs on the tailbone, like right above the butt crack area. So that's why we're using a peach today. I don't want to show my bare ass on the internet, so today we're going to be talking about butt cracks and butts. A normal butt looks like this peach. It has two cheeks, a nice clean line in the center, the perfect butt. But sometimes hair can get trapped under the skin at the top of the butt crack. It can burrow itself deep into the skin, causing inflammation, and eventually a cyst will form. So that's what pilonidal cyst is. It is painful, deep within the skin, prone to infection, and it hurts like hell. Truck drivers, people who sit all day, are definitely more at risk of contracting pilonidal disease because they are sitting on their butts all day, bouncing up and down, and it's just honestly inevitable to happen at that point. But in my personal case, I didn't fit any of those boxes, so I don't really know why I got it. Like, I stand all day for work. As a florist, you stand all day. I barely sit. So I don't know, guys. I got it anyway. I'm a super clean person. It has nothing to do with cleanliness or anything like that. But I felt lost. So this all started on a random day in 2018. I spent the day with my friends at Dorney Park. And when I got home that day, I noticed it felt a little weird to sit. And I wasn't really even sure like what that meant at the time. Like, I was just like, like this feels a little weird. Like, I couldn't sit all the way back. Like, normal people can sit all the way back. I could really only sit facing forward like this. That was the first indication that I knew something was wrong. Now, one thing about me, I don't play about my health. So I went to the doctor the next day and said, hey, like, I can't sit. This is weird, something's going on. They ended up giving me a prescription for some medication called Bactrim. That worked for me. It's a big pill. It's like this big, it's white, it's gigantic. It feels like you're taking a horse pill. They gave me that. I took that for a number of days, and eventually it went away. Great, awesome, we love that. So the cyst ended up coming back again in 2020. And at that point I knew that, okay, like I might have a little bit of a problem here. So I went to the doctor, they gave me the same medication, it worked, and I went about my days. But by August 2022, it came back with vengeance, and this time it did not go away at all. So I did my usual routine. I went to the doctors, got the Bactrim, but this time my body betrayed me. I'm allergic to penicillin, and apparently Bactrim and penicillin are made with similar ingredients. So my body ended up developing like, I guess, I don't know, like an ick for it. Like, it ended up just rejecting the Bactrim altogether. I ended up breaking out in hives when I took it the third time. I got really sick. Went back to the doctor. They were like, oh, okay, yeah, you can't take this because they're made with similar ingredients. And I'm like, well, why not? Like, I've been taking this the last 2 times this happened and nothing's happened. With that being said, I tried different medications. I ended up trying a medicine called Doxy, Cephlexin, and they didn't really do much for me. Like, it just dulled the pain, but like when I sat back fully, I could still feel it when I sat. It never like fully went away. So that happened for, I would say, about 4 or 5 months. I would just go about my day-to-day life and just sitting very awkwardly. I would take lots and lots and lots of ibuprofen. I was taking 3 ibuprofen every 8 hours, and I did that for months on end, guys. So because the medicines that the doctors were prescribing no longer were working as well as they should have, I started taking at-home actions. Did some Google research, and Google told me that if I sit in a bath of Epsom salt, that it should help with the swelling and eventually the cyst should go away. I would take an Epsom salt bath every morning and every night. I would take one before I went to work and then one when I got home from work, because usually my pain was at like a 5 out of 10, and I kind of just wanted to feel some relief. So I would just sit in a bath for like 20 minutes, fully just like bored. Hated doing it. It was honestly horrible. My skin started to get really dry because I was doing them so frequently, but I had to, guys. I had no choice. I was in a lot of pain, and I can't keep taking all these ibuprofen, so like I had to do something. I also tried doing witch hazel. Witch hazel is supposed to be like a natural cleanser, skin irritant, help with redness and all that. So like I would take a little cotton swab with some witch hazel and I would dab the infected area, and that was helping a little bit. I felt like it was keeping the area clean at the very least. There were periods during this 4 to 5 month period where like the cyst would go away fully for like maybe a day or two, but then after that day or two it would come back. So I was beginning to feel really discouraged because everything that I was doing was just counteracting itself in some way, shape, or form. Like I would be good for a day or two, and then I would go right back to having the cyst again, and I'd go right back to being in pain, right back to having to taking medicines. And it was a lot, guys. I went to the doctors quite often. I wouldn't say weekly, but I was there like every 2 weeks or so, just like in there trying to figure out like what it is I can do, any new medications, like is there something I can do? And they kept saying I needed to get a surgery. The problem with the pilonidal cyst surgery that I kept seeing and that the doctors kept telling me is that the likelihood of it reoccurring and coming back is very high. And I'm just like, okay, so if the doctors are gonna cut into me and do all this stuff and it's still gonna come back, like what kind of life is that? That information really had me in a huge depression for months. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have to deal with this for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be in like level 4 or 5 pain for the rest of my life. I suffered for months. Honestly, more than months. I suffered for years, guys. I was dealing with pilonidal cyst from August of 2022 to to April of 2024. So I was feeling a little hopeless, a little sad all the time. I was gaining a whole bunch of weight because I couldn't work out anymore. I would work out for like a day or two and then I would be in a lot of pain, so I couldn't work out the next couple of days. Since then, I actually have lost 17 pounds, yay me, but your girl gained 40, so it was really hard for me to live my everyday life during this period. Things like driving were even a task. I would literally have to like pick a cheek and sit on that cheek the entire time I was driving, and my back used to really hurt at the end of these things. So guys, I'm a florist, and for those of you who don't know, being a florist is more than just standing. It's actually a very physically demanding job. You're lifting and squatting and bending all day long. It got so bad to the point where I literally couldn't do any of those things. I did have coworkers with me at the time, and they would end up just bending and getting all this stuff for me. But guys, like I couldn't bend, I couldn't squat, I couldn't lift things more than 10 pounds without my tailbone like feeling like it was gonna freaking fall off. Eventually, I had to stop taking weddings like overall because I couldn't drive long distances. I couldn't lift things into venues and like just do my job. Like I literally couldn't do my job. So from August of 2022 to January of 2023, that's what I was dealing with. And then in January 2023, the cyst got infected. It got to the size of a golf ball. So I had a gigantic golf ball on my tailbone, right in between my butt crack. It was purple, it was turning colors. It was the most painful thing I have ever experienced in all my days. When I did some research later, after it had already been said and done, a lady on the internet said that it was more painful than her giving birth to her 2 twins. She would rather go into labor than go into a pilonidal cyst pain ever again. And quite literally, guys, I understand because it was pretty horrible. So guys, during that time period, I was taking an ibuprofen every 4 hours. I had to take 4 every 4 hours because the pain level was like a literal 10. And by the 3rd hour, I would feel the pain at like a 7, 8. So thankfully, while it was infected and inflamed like this, it only lasted about a week and a half. But still, like, that's 7 days of just like literally just me laying on the bed. Like, all I could do was just lay like a plank. My stomach and sides would hurt really bad by the end of the day because I was just rotating from one side to the other side. I was just laying there like a plank. And it was really horrible. Did end up taking 2 weeks off from work because I needed 1 week for like the pain and just like the whole popping and all of that to happen. And then I needed another week of recovery. So it took about 2 weeks there. And by the 3rd week, my body felt really tired. Like I felt icky, I felt tired. Not even a few days after that happened, the cyst came back, guys. It came back. I thought that once it popped, did its thing, like once it got angry, popped, left, I kind of thought I would have some relief after that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, part of me, not even part of me, all of me thought that it would be done after that. Like, I thought I wouldn't have to deal with this anymore because, you know, it did its thing, it got angry, it popped, it'll go. Psych, it came back, guys. And after that point, from January to, honestly, for the whole year, all of 2023, it just never really fully went away. It would go away for like a day or two, come back. I'm taking random medications that the doctor would give me to help it. None of the medications that were prescribed to me actually really solved my problem. It just kind of dulled it, but it never really fully went away. During this time period, I was on Google a lot. Like, Google search history definitely looked a little strange in 2023. But I was just trying to get some answers, guys. I felt completely alone, and I just felt like nobody knew what they were talking about because all of the doctors I would go to, they didn't really have much experience in this because I think it's like they get like 100,000 cases a year, and I guess when you have like billions of people, 100,000 versus a billion really isn't like that much. So they're not really used to seeing people like me. There's just like not a lot of research done. The doctors don't know what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. One day I was just scrolling on TikTok and I got a random video about a girl going through pilonidal cyst. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? Like, I didn't know there were other girlies out there like this, because from what I was also researching is that this is mainly a thing that men get. So when I saw another girl got it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, let me go through this girl's page. I ended up going through this girl's page, and through this one video, I ended up finding a whole community of people who went through pilonidal cyst. And I was like, great, this is fun. It's really funny. Online, they call us sisters. Through this new community I found, I was learning about a new type of surgery called a cleft lift surgery. It's a little bit different than the traditional surgery. Cleft lift surgery removes the cyst area completely, and then the doctor reconstructs the top of your butt to be closed together to help prevent the cyst from reoccurring. To answer your question, yes, I can still poop like a normal person. I don't know why that's the first question that like pops into everyone's head, but yes, guys, I can still poop like a normal person. I can still spread my butt cheeks to poop. Thongs, on the other hand, I can wear them, they just don't look as attractive as they once did. So fast forward to April of 2024, the cyst actually got infected again, just like it did in January of 2023. It got super big again, super bad, super painful, had to take 2 weeks off of work again. And when it was all said and done and I went through that whole painful process all over again for the second time, I told myself, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're gonna find a surgeon to perform this cleft lift surgery. I looked up cleft surgery specialists near me, and I found a specialist about 2 hours away from me in Jersey. But best believe I had my boyfriend drive me 2 hours to see this specialist. I ended up having to go there and back twice because I had to go, one for the consultation to see like if I was even a candidate for this. Do I even have pilonidal cyst? Am I dealing with something else? Yes, I had it. It was really bad. He said it was actually one of the like worser cases he's seen in his day. So I actually got my surgery May 15th, 2024. And I was put under anesthesia. In all honesty, I really don't remember anything because I was under anesthesia. When I woke up, I remember thinking like, ooh, I feel a little sore, but I didn't feel like I just like got cleft lift surgery. Like I didn't feel like a doctor just cut into me and removed my insides, because that's essentially what he's doing, guys. I would say the surgery on a scale of like 1 to 10, the pain level, like maybe a 3. Nothing was more painful than the actual cyst itself, if that makes you feel better. The cyst itself was like an 8, 9, 10 at all times, but the pain level for the surgery itself was like a 3. Now, what did kind of hurt later was just like the healing process afterwards. The top of my cheeks were once like this are now like this. So like, you know, having to move around with the closed butt cheek was a little weird for those 2 weeks. Like I kind of had to walk a little funny. Now it's been about a year since my surgery, like a year and some change. And I honestly do feel a whole lot better. I can move around, sit. I can sit all the way back, sit all the way forward. I have no pain whatsoever. And if I'm being totally honest, the cleft lift surgery was the best thing that I've ever done for myself. I would recommend it if you are going through pilonidal cyst and you feel like you have no answers, no help, you're just in constant pain all the time. 1000% go get that dang surgery. Like, what are you waiting for? You have a life to live. This was my first surgery ever, guys, so I can totally understand if you're like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to get surgery, like, I'm scared. Guys, I was scared too, but you know what's even scarier? Going through pilonidal cyst a third time, going through the infection, all that third time. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not the candidate for that. So the healing process really actually wasn't all that bad. The first few days after your surgery, you know, you're really sore, you're a little tired. I recommend to just continue to lay on your belly, try to lay on your sides. Don't lay on your butt. Your butt is not ready to be laid on. I wasn't really able to fully sit on my butt for about a month. But when you think about it, guys, that's only 4 weeks. Like, that's not bad. I would say in all, it took me a total about 2 months to fully heal to 100%. To the point where I can like move around, go to the gym, do things again. It took me about 2 whole months. That same year in August, I actually started to work out again, started to go on like my runs again. I wasn't necessarily like squatting or lifting just yet because I personally was a little nervous. The doctor told me it was okay too, but I remember I tried doing it and like my body just felt a little weird. Like I felt like I wasn't ready to do it yet. So through this whole journey, I really want you to just like listen to your body and make sure you're making the best decision for it. So as of this moment in time right now, it is July 2nd, 2025. It's officially been like a year and 2 months since my surgery. To be totally honest, I don't regret it at all. It was the best decision I've ever made for myself. I can fully do everything that I used to do before. The only things that I try to avoid now are things that require me like to put all my weight on my butt. For example, Russian twists. I try to not do those because I'm putting all my body weight on my tailbone, and that just kind of like, it's a little triggering, guys. Like I was dealing with that for like almost 2 years. So like mentally, it feels really weird for me to like sit on my butt, and it doesn't even like really physically feel weird. It's just like a mental block. I would say emotionally, I am still dealing with the trauma that came with all of this, and just like all the nights that I spent crying, trying to figure out like what is wrong with me, why is this happening, what did I do to deserve this. I feel like I am still kind of healing from that a little bit, but physically I feel free, and I haven't felt this free in a long time, guys. You are dealing with pilonidal cyst. I want you to know that you are not alone. You are not gross. You are not lazy, and you don't deserve this. But there is hope for you out there. Please, just know that at the end of this tunnel, whatever you're going through, there's hope for you. Please do yourself the service and Google cleft lip surgery near me. That's what I put into Google. That's how I found this surgeon, and that's how I changed my life, guys. I was not doing well 2 years ago, but I would say that I'm doing much better today. If you yourself have gone through this or are currently going through it, please comment below. I would love to be your support and help you out through this journey. If you enjoy flower videos, daily life content, health videos, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Follow me on Instagram at flowersbyalexis, and I will see you all soon with another video. Bye.